Hello and welcome to the Archieluxury channel. Today I'd like to discuss some tips for buying a vintage watch. And these are some tips that I've put together after many years of being a serious watch collector and mini dealer. And I'll just go through these tips. The first point is to always buy from a reputable dealer. And this is an absolute must. There are no professional bodies for watch dealers which people have to be a member of. There are a few different clock societies and watch societies, but no, that's no guarantee of dealing with a reputable dealer. Do your research. You'll find out pretty quickly if you're dealing with the right dealer or the wrong dealer. And a good example of that is Brisbane Vintage Watches. He may not be the absolute cheapest at times, but he's honest, good stock, fair prices, and always 100% genuine. So, I think myself sometimes, if you pay a little bit more than what you think you should have paid, that doesn't really matter. If you know you're getting a genuine good piece, that's the most important thing. I always think it's worth paying a fraction more for buying a piece from somebody you know or somebody who's more local. I mean, the hassles of sending an item around the world or buying an item from around the world, are immense. And I mean, it's not impossible to overcome. But what I'm saying is, I've often said to people, I don't mind myself paying 10, 15% more for an item if it's local from a dealer I know and trust. And I think that's good advice to follow. The second tip for buying a vintage watch is look for the two big brands. For outright quality and appreciation value, you can't go past Rolex and Patek Philippe. Numerous manufacturers rate a mention, but I'd say there are only about 10 to 15 or so that are really worth focusing on. And that's why sometimes people say, "Oh, Archie, why do you keep going on with the same brands and the same sort of pieces?" And that's because those are the creme de la creme. That's the pick of the pick. And that's why I try and steer you into good things. The third tip I have for people is, a good entry-level purchase. Well, I'd certainly say a Longines Conquest, say from the 50s, which is, around about $600. And that's a true classic. And this was when Longines made a decent piece, not these modern. The new Longines is not in any way related to the old Longines. The new Longines is just a marketing name attached to a generic sort of piece. But the old Longines, they were a piece worthy of collecting. Fourth point, if money isn't an issue, anything by Patek Philippe is a great buy. And, you can get some really good pieces for around about the $10,000 mark. You can get, there are some bargains around there, some sort of older, smaller pieces. And even with Patek, you can get like a quartz Calatrava, which is a genuine Patek piece. They're about the $4,000 to $6,000 mark. For a really good Patek, just under the $10,000 mark will get you a nice piece. If you want an automatic with a date, that'll be a little bit more. $13,000, $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 mark on the used market. So that's my recommendation there. The fifth point is, if possible, get papers, original documents or certificates of authenticity from the manufacturer help with resale value down the track, and they're always worth paying a little bit extra to get. I mean, I wouldn't make it a rule that a piece must have papers or it must have this or must have, but the thing is, if it is available, it's always a nice bonus. It doesn't necessarily add a lot of value to the piece, but it makes it easier to sell it when the time comes. And that's always what I say there to people who are saying should it have papers, and sometimes people say, oh, must have papers, must have. Well, I'd rather get a better condition piece without papers than an average piece with papers. So you've got to weigh it up on the used market. And this is the thing, when you're buying used, beggars can't be choosers. And this is my rules for buying vintage watches. The next thing is know your metals. And given the expense, there aren't as many platinum models around, which is great for exclusivity. However, white gold is really in vogue at the moment. But stainless steel is probably your best bet for hard wearing and for a piece for everyday use. And stainless steel is a great metal to have a watch made in there, and including luxury watches. I mean, the genre of luxury. Audemars Piguet had the Royal Oak in 1972. Cartier had a lot of the steel Santos came out. Rolex has always had the Datejust for a long time, and it's a really fantastic material for a piece. And the next thing is to invest wisely. And what I mean by that is you buy a good vintage piece, you buy it you buy a nice piece, you make sure the dial is original, you make sure the piece is correct, and you'll always, you may not, in a couple years' time, you'll get your money back, if not a small dividend on it there. So there you go. That's Archieluxury's tips for buying a vintage watch. I hope they help. I'm Archieluxury, and thanks for watching this clip.